Oh, you set up the lights at your girl's house?
Sure did, man. That's called providing
sweet.
and protecting, my good brother.
Oh,
I
you're
bet
teaching me.
you wasn't on a ladder in the roof.
I wasn't on a ladder. I was in the house I share with my wife, not my girlfriend. Yes, I was on putting up our lights.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
What's up, folks? It's the Any Given Sunday podcast. I'm Rebel Scum, your boy, on here with the Pod Squad and some special guests tonight to cover the final week of the regular season. I can't believe it's a week 14 come and gone. This is it. 2025 is by us. On to the postseason for some. There's a lot to cover tonight, so let's introduce the fellas before we get into the action. We'll start with our defending champ, New Jack City, showing off the new grills tonight. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. Yes. The rent has been due and NJC has been collecting monthly. Thank you very much. The new grills. Yeah. Perfect time for the playoff run.
When's the mixtape drop?
New mixtape dropping on New Year's Eve. DJ Middle Aged. We will be shouting out AGS in the cipher. I don't style for free, but I might freestyle. Okay.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Okay, Cordy. Sorry.
Don't worry, man. I was about to say this podcast is amazing. Last week we gave you only what special effects and Stan Winston's Creature Shop could give you with Goonies and other horrific acts. This week we've got the midlife crisis movie. It's a living documentary, a living diary. It's amazing. Great to see you, NJC. Ambassadors, welcome back, sir. How you doing?
What's up, fellas? The Quan is back in the house. Looking forward to the playoff run. Love, respect, community, and the dollars too.
None of which you stand for except for the dollars part. I watched you shred, completely eviscerate New Jack City pre-pod. And then you have the wherewithal to come on here and preach love and respect and community, sir. How dare you?
It's a little one-sided, Dick. The NJC he dishes a lot. No pause.
What? What?
He just as loud. I'm only retaliating.
We need that energy. That's playoff energy right there. You're gonna need to channel some more of that. Commissioner Siebert Frogs, welcome back this week. Great to see you, Froggy.
Great to see everyone. Clear eyes, full hearts during bye weeks. I can't lose. While this week's game versus the Curse didn't impact my postseason ranking, it had a huge impact on the rest of the standings. We'll break that down later in the show. Curse's win combined with loss shift, swinging the first round. Real quick, I'm wearing my Cal jacket tonight because I want to shout out Berkeley for hiring a classmate, Tosh Lupoy, to be the next head coach of the Cal football program. He played D-line at Cal in the early 2000s. After graduating, he immediately joined the Cal staff, becoming the youngest full-time coach in program history, gaining national attention as an elite recruiter and D-line coach. After leaving Cal, he rose through major programs, coaching at Washington, winning 2 national titles at Alabama, spending time with the Cleveland Browns, and most recently as Oregon's defensive coordinator. Now he returns to our alma mater, joining general manager Ron Rivera to hopefully reset the program. Go Bears.
All right, go Bears. This was great. Wonderful. Excellent. All right, we got a couple special guests.
Sign, Nick?
Huh?
Was that the white power sign you just threw up?
I was going to introduce you next, but fuck it. We'll go like that. Hey, thank you. Welcome back. Obviously, you caught me. You've seen The Watchmen, so now you know. Sugandese, great to have you back. One of our special guests.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me, boys. Pause.
Tank job. Tank job, Sugandese.
Tanking for love.
Yeah. Sent me a freaking lemon. Are you the new lemon dealer, you bastard?
Hey, man, I might be.
Right. Shit.
Well, he warned you, I guess. Rudy, coming off a big win, an improbable, incredible win. You put a wrench in the spokes of history. Welcome.
Welcome to the House of Rudy. God damn it, 13-1. I'm gonna see that ass again. Guarantee that.
Pause. No?
Fuck that.
He said
see.
no, play, fast forward.
We'll see. But I'll be sitting here chilling. So maybe week after next.
All right. Well, that's a fact. I'm actually anxious to hear all the playoff seeding, all the consolation, all that shit. But before we get into that, we're gonna roll into NJC's top 3. Oh, look at you!
Wow,
You got a second?
That was some shit talking. I love it. It's gonna be fiery playoffs. Perfect time to roll into NJC's top 3. Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, we got to cut this one. My bad. Week 14, Godslayer edition. Welcome to NJC's top 3, the final reckoning of week 14. Forget the regular season. The legends are made now. We witnessed titanic upsets, undisputed dominance, and chokes so severe they could come with a lifetime ban. This script is epic. The scores are legendary, and the losses are eternal. Let's get into the pantheon of power. At number 3, the curse, the upset of the Titan. The curse versus the frogs, 129 to 120. At number 3 moment is the only one that proved records mean nothing in December. The curse 7-5-1 looked at the 10-3 Seabird Frogs and decided that destiny was ending. They secured a massive legacy-defining upset. This game was a clash of fate. The Frogs relied on Puka Nacua and Stafford with a combined 66.5 points, but they ran into a brick wall named Josh Allen. The epic play, Allen delivered an MVP performance and single-handedly outscoring entire Seabird Frogs backfield and defense combined. He showed up and said, if you want this playoff spot, you've got to go through me. The curse won by 8.5 points, shattering the Frogs' flawless run and proving they're a serious late-season threat. At number 2, Rebel Scum, the immortal humiliation, 82.5 to 82. Rebel Scum poops upside his head with a 0.5 little pinch. This is the most savage win of the week. Rebel Scum 4-9 took down the playoff bound oops upside your head 8-5 with a score so low it should be illegal. This victory is a monument to the failure of Oops' offense. Oops lost by half a point. That's single drop pass, a missed field goal, a half yard that wasn't awarded. This is the most agonizing loss in this league this season, in my opinion. Oops surrendered control of their season to a squad that could barely crack 82 points. Sorry, Scum. Proving that the fantasy gods hate them. And then number 1 of the week, Rudy, the undefeated killer, 144 to 118.5. Our number 1 moment belongs to the bearded beauty, Rudy, who committed the biggest murder of the entire fantasy season. He didn't just win, he dismantled the entire undefeated Ambassadors dynasty. 13-0 streak is dead. Rudy's walked into this game as an underdog and left as the God Slayer. They looked at the league's machine, the Ambassadors of Queefed, took a whiff, and broke every single gear. This victory is a statement that the playoffs are wide open. Rudy's offense delivered an absolute master class. They got massive scores from Mr. Wilson, T. Higgins, and balanced production across the board to drop a monstrous 144 points. Rudy is now the team that gets to tell the story of how they killed the Giant. The Ambassadors may have had the perfect season, but Rudy has the perfect trophy moment. And that's it for NJC's top 3. If your undefeated season streak has ended this week, congratulations. You're officially vulnerable. You've been listening to NJC, and I'll catch you next week for more chaos. Deuces.
You do know the Quan is has a bye week and is still in the playoffs, right?
Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit at all.
There was nothing was slayed.
Don't give a
It
fuck.
was it was a good regular season win.
You're right. You're right.
What it is.
But
Don't let him get to you, Quan. Don't let him get to you.
It's okay. But if we're talking about your dynasty, it only lives throughout the regular season, and you were defeated. It's okay. You're still you've got the number 1 seed. You're going to see Rudy again probably in 2 weeks. So
maybe.
Rudy. He said, Rudy, you got to get your balls.
We'll have to hear what the seedings are, but I would look forward to that. That would be nice.
Oh no, I'll probably end up having curse. Now that 0.5 cost somebody dearly. Seeding.
Yeah, so you beat Kirsten, you would see Quan.
Yeah, I know.
Well, let's talk about this high score of the week, actually, right here, Rudy. You put on a hell of a show, well-balanced performance. The T. Higgins drama, you were going back and forth on the thread. You were like, get this guy a bubble wrap, put him in a spacesuit.
Man, big plans for him. I can't have him out. I just can't. He's my X factor right now. He's kept me up afloat even in the 4-game losing streak. So he didn't practice. Or he was light practice, or didn't even do anything today. So probably won't even play this week. So that's gonna hurt real bad.
Back in concussion protocol.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it affects the person you're playing this week who has the other receiver.
I think he'll play.
Oh,
you can clear concussion protocol in a week.
Well,
he's been down. I think he'll play too. I hope he plays. Shit.
They need the win to stay in the playoffs, right? They're not mathematically eliminated from a wild card, right? So that would incentivize his play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The actual Bengals. Okay, yeah. Michael Wilson, 34.5 points.
But I will say that once again, those Thursday night games, I always run into a ambush or a damn a mortar attack. That's what it felt like to start that week off. So it was a miracle that I was just able to put something up with subbing out a tight end and then finding Wilson. Saturday, was it Saturday night or Sunday morning or whatever the case may be. That's just how AGS goes.
Yep, I definitely had my hand in the hat for Wilson, and you were higher in the pecking order.
Not by much. So that's just how it goes. I've gotten the waiver wire a little bit wrong this year, but I don't know.
Got it right that time.
Got it right that time. So,
that was the difference.
But yeah,
no, that was a good win. That was a huge comeback. The 70 points on a Thursday night did have me feeling good, feeling a bit confident. But my team didn't even really play bad, other than my defense and my kicker. But the Achan and Lamb, who both had 17 points before halftime, and then not playing the second half, that hurt. But that was a big win. And Michael Wilson gets some validity. Everybody is vulnerable in the playoffs. Nobody is safe ever. And it goes to show you that at any given time, anybody could win, which goes to show how hard it is to go 13-0. But but it was a good win, Rudy, and like they say, get it out now.
It's playoff time, baby.
Get it out now.
I got a few words, man, and this isn't to pile on the Quan. It's almost piggybacking a little bit off of NJC, but I do want to share a few words for my brother Rudy, who's had an incredible year, ups and downs. Is my audio coming through all right, Scum? All right. So, Rudy, given the significance of your victory this week, man, I just wanted to say something to you, man, in the kind of in the spirit of Rudy. Rudy, the movie, the Notre Dame great. There comes a moment in every team season where the world feels bigger than you are, where the record, the rankings, the projections all say don't belong. People look at the numbers, look at the names, and they think the story's already been written. But then something happens. The team stands up and says, not today. The team decides that heart matters more than perfection, that grit matters more than predictions. And this week, Rudy did exactly that. You stepped onto that field against the Quan, the league's giant, and you didn't blink. You didn't back down. You delivered a 144 to 118.5 statement that nobody saw coming except the men on your roster who believed it was possible. And that's the thing about heart. You can't measure it on a stat sheet. You can't calculate it with an algorithm. Heart is built in when no one's cheering, no one's watching, and you keep going anyway. Rudy knows that better than anyone. For over a year, he's been fighting a battle far bigger than AGS. He wakes up every day and chooses to fight again, and if he can keep going, if he can keep showing up, then none of us have an excuse, because in this lifetime, you don't have to prove anything to anybody but yourself. And that's exactly what his team did. You proved that you belong. You proved that belief beats doubt. You proved that even when the world counts you out, you can write your own ending. Champions are remembered, but fighters are never forgotten. And Rudy, this week you fought like hell and you earned every bit of it. Rudy.
I think Quan's screen froze because I didn't hear him saying Rudy.
God bless you, Commissioner. God bless you. God bless
Cheers to that. Well written.
Cheers, Rudy.
Well deserved.
you.
I told myself that same speech, but for losing.
Fuck
Oh, yeah.
outta here.
You went on the record multiple times on the pod arguing that depth wasn't important to you. Just wondering if we can come back to that. CD Lamb throwing up two fingers this week. A-Chain ribs, he looks like he'll be back. And then some of the guys you caught just coincidentally went off this week. Tony Pollard, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, 33 points. Travis Etienne, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns, 20 points. Even BTJ sighting with 90 yards receiving. So, I mean, just throwing it out there since you kind of poo-pooed on depth.
So that's a lie. I've never poo-pooed on depth. I have argued that I have depth and I had no need for any of those players. So I had
I don't
Tony
think it's a
Pollard,
lie. I think
Brian Thomas Jr.
podcast
I've never
episode.
poo-pooed on depth at all, ever. I've said that I have depth. I didn't need those players. Tony Pollard, Brian Thomas Jr. would not have made the starting lineup for this week, regardless. Tony Pollard that's the most points that he scored all season. And he was playing against arguably one of the best defenses in the league that was projected to have the highest scores in all of fantasy defenses this week. So it was more of a fluke than it was any sort of it was an anomaly. I argued that I had depth already. I had enough depth to sustain my team. I mean, it's a lot really coming down on the Quan's season when he's 13-1, which is probably, I believe, the best regular season record ever in AGS, and probably the longest winning streak in AGS history as well. Unfortunately, it came to an end, and much props to Rudy. It's really hard to do, but the goal wasn't to go undefeated. The goal is to win a championship. And we are in contention for that, and that is the focus. Also, the focus in making moves throughout the season of expendable players is building for the future, something that the Quan sustains relevance every year, and that's the reason why. I got very good draft picks or decent draft picks for those players that I moved, and was able to add one of the best quarterbacks in the league after losing a top tier quarterback. So nice try on the shot, but when you talk about depth, I actually was proud to see. I mean, Colston Loveland, I did have 0 tight end depth, but for him to get a spot start 10 points, I was pretty happy with that. But nobody would have beat Rudy this week. That was a great win. He had the high score, and no team was able to beat that. But even with Lamb throwing up 2 fingers and Achan going out with the rib injury, both had 17 points, which are pretty good scoring options for anybody. I'd take 17 points any day for my players. So
I think the long
Quan.
defensive answer speaks for itself. We could run the tape from the previous episode.
I was gonna say, Quan, you don't sound like a cool, confident 13-1. You sound like a 7-7 on the brink, had to fight my way into the playoffs team.
Every week it's a fight. Every week it's a fight. Take no opponents lightly. Even coming into the playoffs, CJ, anything can happen. Anything happen. This is not the first time I've been number 1 overall. Pretty regularly.
Scum, it's called the one trophy. It's the one trophy mentality.
Oh,
okay.
Well, I aspire to the one trophy mentality, actually. In that case, I look up to that mentality. I can't look down on it from your vantage point, Frogs and NJC. Nobody on here can, so we're just looking up. With that, thank you. I do want to jump into a couple of the other pod guest games before we break down the seeding. Sugandese, you were requested on the pod to answer for your crimes of tanking, and now you so brazenly boast of such crimes. How dare you, sir, strike the integrity of the league the commissioner fought so hard to keep intact all season long. And then you are over here.
You put in the Bengals.
Oh my goodness! Come on, Bengals. Yeah, exactly. What do you say for yourself?
Let me break it down before he states his case. Supreme tanking scored a total of 66.5 points this week. Left 98.5 points on the bench. Started Geno Smith over Joe Burrow. That was a net negative 25. Bengals D over the Bills, net negative 15. Kyle Monangai over RJ Harvey, net negative 11.5. Defend yourself, Sugandese.
Well, I mean, yeah, Bengals defense, it was snowing. I thought the weather would come into play. I thought there'd be some fumbles, some picks.
Let's be honest, Sugandese.
No, I mean, my season was over. Winning didn't really benefit me. I think knowing all the results, I would have just went from first pick to second pick. So with that being said, I want to go on the love train, So
I knew it. Take it for love.
All aboard.
It was supposed to be Coastal Loveland's nickname, but he did not earn a nickname.
Are you supposed to be? Are you getting trained? Because it looked like you're getting like a train.
Ran.
I don't know.
Through you. Looks like the train is running
getting
through
a train
you.
ran.
The train was AGS. That's how we treated Sugan this year.
Hey, I got a question, Sugan. Was it always the goal to tank all the way in last place? Did
I feel like after week 3, like you were ready?
I'm quite questioning because
he's been tanking for quite a while.
Was it always the goal to tank to last place? Did the commissioners guaranteeing a name change for second to last have any effect on you starting that lineup this week?
So I'll take a moment to clarify. I guaranteed that Coastal Havoc would not have a name change. I didn't guarantee anyone else would have a name change.
I think on one time on the thread you did say that Coastal Havoc is ineligible for a name change, and the second to last team would get a name change. I think you said that.
Yeah,
at one point.
that's what I said.
Okay.
That doesn't guarantee that any other team would have it. It's whoever
Okay.
comes in second.
Actually, okay. Well, did it have any effect on you tanking this week? Because this is the first time since I've been in the league I've ever seen somebody purposely start a BO lineup.
Whoever
that's
loses
kind of
last should get a name change.
Huh?
What was that, Rudy?
I was just saying, whoever loses last should get a name change. Fuck it.
Yeah, a little bit. I played a little bit, and I could have, if I wanted to not, come in last. That was on the table. So kind of made my own bet in that one. But no, I think the first question was last place always my goal. I'd say after I traded Justin Jefferson, yeah, I feel like that was kind of the goal. Then 2 first-round picks. I want those picks to be as early as possible. I didn't think I thought I would lock up last place a lot sooner. It was definitely hard to get it. But yeah, I'm happy that I did.
Well, congratulations.
Since Quan brought it up, let's talk about it because it seems like a weird place. Like Quan's mentioned it so many times, so I'm wondering why he's fighting for it so hard. Lots of gifs, memes on the thread. Now he's brought it up again. Coastal Havoc was always going to be ineligible for the name change. When it came up on the thread, last place hadn't been decided, and now that everything's settled, he came in 10th place, so 3 spots out of last. So again, he wouldn't have qualified for the last name, so I don't know why we were talking about it so much. Coastal Havoc did not draft a team. He took over an 0-7 franchise in week 8. He was not responsible for any of those 7 losses. Since taking over the franchise, he's now gone 5-2. He had more wins in 6 weeks than Sugandese won in 14 weeks. The last power rankings, he was number 5. Quan mentions this as some incentive for Sugan to tank, but I don't know how I incentivize a team to win when they've been tanking for 12 weeks. One thing that wasn't mentioned that I would throw on the table as well is that if Havoc did come in last, I would have gave the league the option to just have no name change this year. But Sugan did everything in his power to earn it, so you will be blessed with the name change, Sinka.
Well, had I known that, maybe I wouldn't have.
I was going to say, we had this conversation more. I just wanted to bring it up for content on the pod. Cool. We've already discussed this, but
I laid out my reasoning. What I don't understand. Go ahead. Let me hear you guys' logic.
When we were talking about this on the thread, there was no clarity that it was an option for there to skip the name change like we did when Emmett returned to the league. But anyway, I think it's clarified. I think it's dead now. Sinkei has pretty much admitted that he's all pretty much for well before he started that lineup that he's going for the number 1 spot. Does this, as a commissioner, how do you feel about that? How does the league feel about that? And does this set a precedence? We have a team that purposely tanked all the way to the number 1 spot, who's pretty much probably going to draft a franchise-changing player in Jeremiah Love, who is wherever he gets drafted is probably going to be a beast. He looks to have, even to me, looks like a better talent than Genty. So does this set a precedence now? We're going to start looking. I mean, this Scum, who's been in the perpetual 3rd, 4th, 5th place. Is this the avenue that you have to take now for your team to turn around? And do we see you try for it next year?
Oh, you want me to answer that question? It wasn't rhetorical.
No, I'm saying, how does the league feel about the purposeful tanking? I know we try to avoid that. It's unavoidable, but
I mean, it's not the first or last time that someone would tank. I'd argue that a moment to it's like tanking, and you might not even trying to tank. So I don't know. I applaud Sugandese for doing what he had to do to lock it up. I mean, doesn't matter to me, man. If you want to pay your money and come in last place and bend over for the league, I'll take it.
We gotta make this name change worth it, though, boy.
There is something to be said to your point you were trying to make, Quan.
Okay.
Nah, I wouldn't purposefully tank, but getting higher draft picks historically, at least the last several champions, has worked out. The guys have bounced back within 1 or 2 years. I think all of you guys have had. I mean, NJC had one. Sugandese, this is not your first time, and you may have had one right before you won the title a year later or some shit like that. So there's definitely something to it, but I don't think it's the only thing to it. That's for sure, because sometimes those top picks don't hit, and then just perpetual 3rd, 4th, 6th place. So
I think you're right. I think the last champions for maybe the last 5 or 6 years, even more, have all had the number 1 overall pick recently.
Yeah,
and then even the re-emerging teams like the Frogs team started with the number 1 overall pick.
But the window's real short there, especially with savvy owners making the right choices. Before we get into the seeding, because I want to make sure we have time for that and stay timely, I do want to just point out one thing with NJC's victory over Ruth. No longer Papa. We haven't really called him Papa all season long. It's been no Papa. It's been nothing like that. So NJC, I think the monkey's off your back, sir. You've moved on. The ship has sailed. Yeah, it's not often you see somebody score 137 points, 37 and a half points, and their quarterback puts up a donut. That is more like it, wouldn't you say, NJC?
I don't think it hurts that Jamont's true son quit the league this year either.
Oh shit.
I'm happy that the team showed up this week. Lennon called it last week. I said it on the thread that as soon as I benched LeMigraine, he was going to come alive. So, as long as I have talent on my roster that can put up points and I can figure out a way to start them at the right time, that means I'm in the game and I have a chance. But if there's if it's the opposite where my team is ass and I'm just shit out of luck, that's different. So I'm grateful to put up 137 points, but Danny Dimes torn Achilles. Hope he gets better soon. Lamar, do you trust that's going to be Lamar for the rest of the freaking season? Now I got to test drive, quarterbacks again. So yes, grateful for the win, but in no way, shape, or form am I super cocky or confident going into this in the following weeks. So we're all, kind of up in arms. But I don't think anybody's sitting 100% confident right now.
I say NJC, you say fuck it. This is for the culture. You grab Shedeur Sanders and you win the title.
I was thinking the same thing. There's Shedeur. Shedeur's out there.
Hey, listen. Regardless of what I'm gonna, whatever happens, let's give that brother his flowers, man. If he's not the epitome of fighting odds and underdog and comeback story, the dude's been getting shitted on since the draft. Every possible direction they could go to not make sure he played has happened. He's played. They even pulled it. The coach, who's I'm convinced is a freaking gambling addict and was betting against his own team, pulls his quarterback out on the last final drive. He's faced every possible odd and prevailed. The only rookie quarterback to go over 300 yards this season, finally named as season starter. He himself is a testament to dedication and hard work. And, so if that was to happen, whether he saw playing time or not, that's a brother that hopefully has a decent future in the NFL. I'm glad to see him finally get some positive stats under his belt.
And a future on NJC's lineup as well.
No doubt.
Listen, at this point, anything's possible, bro.
That's it. That's the cosign we needed. Just like that. We don't have a Quan's Blitz this week, and we want to make sure we get the seeding in. So, Commissioner,
all the teams are on. All the teams are on the pod. There's no blitz to have. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Oh yeah, okay, perfect, wonderful. Well, let's just roll right into the seeding, if you will, Commissioner.
Shout out to Coastal Havoc and Pimps. I think that's the one game that got left out. Havoc won that handily with big games against Watson. Congrats, Coastal Havoc. Let's get into the seeding. I'm going to start from the bottom, go to the top. The season has ended for our 12th place finisher. He's here on the pod. He can speak about it. 12th place goes to Sugandese with a 3-11 record, falling 7 spots lower than last year's finish in 2024.
All right, last place. Run a train on
Good job.
these. Run a train on these.
Yeah, I'm starting to think this background might have been a mistake.
Yeah, that wasn't thought out. Well,
maybe if I
man.
turn this way.
Yeah,
A
and
career.
you should turn the train this way and then sit that way and open your mouth, because that'll be the other part of the day.
At least
Yeah,
you didn't pick
having
one of those
Jeremiah
Thomas
Love for
trains.
his whole career is, I'm sure, is going to make you forget all about that.
Yeah,
Well, I think that train's perfect because it was one of the main characters in Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh man,
Oh,
and
man.
Steamrail was his name-o, huh? Yeah.
Hey, Sugandese, just real quick. We talked pre-pod a little bit about the draft and how you felt after the draft, and then it was mentioned here 3 weeks into the season you pulled the plug. Can you just take us through the high to very quickly low of that, and now any sort of hope with Love on the horizon?
Yeah. I thought I had a solid draft. Obviously that was not the case. Matthew Golden didn't pan out. Ricky Pearsall, he might as well have just gotten shot another time because he didn't do shit. Justin Jefferson, NJC, you obviously
He might as
know.
well have got a shot too.
was
And
a
then yeah,
great
my 2 wins in the early in the season were against at that point Boo and Naomi, so that didn't really strike a lot of confidence. So I just pulled the plug right there. And then yeah, we're looking forward to the future. A necessary sacrifice for the future. So yeah.
Sink, hey,
Wow.
the future's looking very bright for your team. You actually did a great job of picking up Burrow as well. Do you have any idea of who your keepers are already?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I just picked up Burrow too, just to play defense. I was high on waivers. I knew somebody was gonna pick him up, so I was like, why not? I wasn't planning on keeping him, but he's kind of balling right now, so it's kind of tough. BTJ, I'm kind of hoping he gets traded or something. So I got Harvey on a rookie deal. Probably lean Swift just because he's a starting running back, and then it'll either be Burrow or BTJ. So probably those.
I got a quick question to ask, actually, one more before we roll on, or maybe a tip of the cap. You hung on to Bo Nix the entire season. I jettisoned Michael Penix, I think week 3 or 4. Why?
Well, I didn't have Joe Burrow up until like 2 weeks ago, and Bo Nix had some good weeks, and there wasn't really anything on waivers. I was trying my best to really win. It didn't really make sense to make a waiver move. I'm kind of planning for the future, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll be available in the 6th round next year. So I was just a year ahead of that fucking window. All right. So congratulations on last place, man. That is incredible to you. This is the 2nd time you've achieved last place, 3rd time relegation. That's the new rule. I just made it up tonight. Let's move on to the next seed, sir.
All right, coming in 11th place, their season is also over with a record of 4-10. Penthouse Pimps is our 11th place finisher, finishing 5 spots lower than they did in 2024. Now that their seasons are over, both the Pimps and Sugandese will not be moving forward to the competition bracket. They finished with 2 keepers, and their rosters are frozen.
Ooh, that's a surprise.
Whoa.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Joe.
Yeah, a Woomith strikes
The
back.
Woomith.
He's in it. Do you know how excited he is at the possibility of 4 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends on his roster to start next season?
Oh man, he's good. All right.
Wow, that's incredible. Congratulations, Joe and Havoc.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, sorry. I know you didn't think the season would go like this, but all season long, really just struggled to get up. Yeah, that's great. That's incredible, man. So let's hear what the consolation looks like.
Well, you give Joe props, and he can thank Sugan for posting him in the final week of the season. So our official consolidation bracket seeding, everyone in the consolation bracket ended with the same 5-9 record. All 4 teams, 5-9. These are based on our tiebreaker system. Head-to-head is the first tiebreaker, and then total points. Coming in 10th place, number 4 seed consolation bracket, Coastal Havoc, newest to the league. The franchise finished 2 spots higher than they did in 2024. He is sitting in the majestic spot of owning the number 3 overall pick and likely going into the consolation bracket as a favorite to win an extra keeper.
Damn, that's a hell of a spot right there.
Yeah, indeed. A great way to start his first full season from the ground up. Also was mentioned in this pre-pod, it's a different vibe in the league since he started. It's certainly not as feisty. The thread, there were some moments there that are all-timers that will live on the thread infamy. And certainly we're probably better for not going down those roads, but it is nice to have Havoc in the league, and he's going to have a nice foundation to build on there. Good running backs. Good for you. Wow.
I think you win the consolation.
Well, thanks, Rudy.
Moving on to 9th place, number 3 seed in the consolation bracket, also with a 5-9 record, is the counselor T. Ruth, 9th place, finishing 5 spots lower than he did in 2024.
Thoughts, NJC, your boy.
Nothing to say, man. I mean, hopefully next year's a better year for him, man. I mean, maybe it's time to show up for the draft and bring more than just a cell phone.
With some paperwork, at least.
Yeah, more than a cell phone and a hope and prayer. So, I mean, you know what? I think, Quan, we give him a lot of shit, but he's a pretty wise dude. Like nobody stays in first place forever. Hopefully he does something with his draft picks, and comes back, focused next season, so we can try to do something. But it is what it is.
Despite his final standing in the league, the council will be in a celebratory mood this week as he hosts his 8th annual holiday Christmas party. Everyone from the league's been invited. It's always a good time. We appreciate you, counselor, for always opening the door and inviting all of us to your party. We will see you Thursday night.
Well,
Yes, thanks for extending the invitation. My question for you, counselor, had you been on the podcast, is are you going to keep Brandon Ayuk? At this point, I think you should, because you held on to him all season long, and now it's like you should hold on to him in case he plays again. What's the point, right? What's the point? Just Keep that rolling. All right, let's move on to the next seed. What we got?
I mean, in 8th place, number 2 seed in the consolation bracket, our very own host, Rebel Scum, finishing 1 spot lower than he did in 2024. Consistency.
It's a miracle. It wasn't worse. It might have been better if it was worse, but all things considered, right back where I started.
Short and sweet.
The next one.
We
Short
like
and sweet.
coming in 7th place, the number 1 seed. Who would have thought? Number 1 seed is the Awometh himself, who's coming in 2nd, finishing 1 spot higher than he did in 2024. The Awometh, the number 1 seed, will be playing number 4 seed, his boy, Spring Break Bruce Koso Havoc, in the first round of the consolation bracket. Rebel Scum will be facing T. Ruth.
You know what? At least I get to pick before Awometh, and he completely butt jobs my entire draft. So that's incredible, man. Like, do you know how this incentivizes him? He's like, I got better.
I got better.
There were 5 other teams worse than
Number 1 seed,
The-
bitches.
Number 1 loser.
This is uncharted territory. He's not going to know what to do with a middle round pick. I've got some tips, but
He's gonna trade it. He's gonna trade it.
Holding on to Anthony Richardson worked out. For
Yeah.
him.
wow. Yeah, who knew? That's incredible. Well, thanks to all those consolation participants. Let's get into the real deal. This is where the money gets made. Everybody wants to hear all about the dollars. Commissioner.
One last Awometh note: had Sugandese put up a legal roster that actually was fighting, who's coming in 2nd would have finished the season in 11th place. So he owned the tiebreaker over the Pimps. So from 11th to 7th with 1 game, what a swing. The official 2025 playoff seedings, the winners, not the losers. I'll start from the top because we already know who the number 1 seed is. Ambassadors of Quan, congratulations. You were right. This is I believe, the best regular season in AGS history. It wasn't perfect, but it was awesome. 13-1, and enjoy your bye week next week, sir.
Thank you, Commish.
All right, moving on to number 2. I'll also be short because it's myself. Secret
Hold on.
Frogs.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Quan, that was you fucking talked all season long, and this is your moment. You may not get another one. You
I didn't know. I didn't realize it was a moment. It was,
He announced you. He was like,
Oh, okay.
Quan, this is your moment. You're the number 1 seed, 13-1.
We're giving you your
thank you.
flowers, Quan. Great
thank
season.
you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you. That's really all I have to say.
Well-
We're going. Look. Number 1 seed and number 6 seed. Anybody can win on any given Sunday. So, but I always am trying to get a bye week, and the bye weeks matter. So, thank you.
You can't put in good word with the fantasy gods now. I know what you're trying to do. I heard that. I
Oh,
saw
there
that
we go.
all season long. You would not have settled for the 6th seed. And there's a lot of highfalutin snooting going on up there from the top. And now you're
Look,
trying to say
I
6
will
as
be
good as
honest.
1. Anyone can win.
Look, I'll say this. I will say this. I will address this. Yes, of course, like any other owner in AGS, around week, I think after I beat the Frogs, I felt like I looked at the schedules like I may possibly can run the table. And then coming down to the last game, that was a little that hurt. It was a chance to make AGS history, and I don't think I don't know if we'll ever see it again. But great win for Rudy. But we're moving on to the playoffs now.
It is historic. Well done. You did a wonderful thing. 13-1 is very impressive. Hats off to the number 2 seed. I'm sorry to steal your thunder, Frogs.
Oh no, and I think it was a good idea to keep his words short, because last week when he said that he was doing this for us, for the greater good, I think that backfired. So less words better. Number 2 seed, Super Frogs. Like Quan said, anyone can be beaten, and the Frogs were beaten this week by the Curse, another playoff team. Did earn a bye week, so Quan and I will both. We have a week off. We could we'll take our wives to the Christmas party with no stress on Thursday night while the playoff teams are battling it out. So
With no fucking service down there.
we won't need it.
Froggy, you kind of gave the comparisons for the consolation between where we finished last year, this year. You had a reverse situation here. How much better were you this year than last year?
Well, the reason I didn't announce it is, and for everybody listening, this is still top 6 is still fluctuating, right? These are the seeds going into the playoffs, but unlike the consolation bracket where those draft spots are now locked, top 6 all depends on how playoffs play out. But if number 2 seed, I think I had the number 4 pick last year, so that's somewhere around a 7-spot swing upwards, and hopefully I stay up there, but we'll see how the playoffs shake out.
Right on. Well, yeah, let's roll with the next seed.
Number 3 seed finally broke 100 points this week. It's been a while, and he's back. He's happy. He's excited. Might have been the longest NJC's top 3 of the year. Number 3 with a record of 9-4-1 is New Jack City.
Thank you. I've been here before in the 3rd spot. I like this spot. I'm just happy to be here, man. It was a rough season, a lot of ups and downs. So again, I'm just grateful. Hopefully we can figure the quarterback situation out, but I'll see you next week. Oops.
All right. Well, he ruined the number 6 seed. Here we go. Number 4 seed with a record of 8-5-1 has never and will never join us on the podcast. All you guys know him as the Curse. Number 4 seed. I mentioned it earlier because of his win over me in week 8 and Oops' loss. The Curse jumped 2 spots from 6 seed to 4 seed.
Yes,
Cheers to
in the
that.
shadows, the Curse lurks, waiting to strike. He's always a threat. See how it goes. Well done, Curse. Hats off to you. Always a consistent playoff team. Well done.
The win flips are we moved down to number 5 seed. Rudy could have been the 4 seed. He comes in at the number 5 seed with a record of 8-6. He's here in the pod. Congratulations on making the postseason in the 5 seed. Rudy's race.
Rudy.
I'd just like to say 5 wins better than last year. Started from the hospital. Now I'm back in the playoffs. Feels great. Feeling blessed. Feeling excited. I'm hella confident. Going into the wild card with all the confidence in the world. So I'm about to have fun. Feels like the old playoff years, first few years. So let's get it.
Rudy, you gave us an update a couple weeks ago that you'll be returning home soon. What means more to you, returning home or the chance at an AGS championship?
And a chance at an AGS championship? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Keep me in the hospital for another year. Let's go.
Man, I'll fall out right now in 3 weeks so I can celebrate up in this bitch. Nah, but yeah, December 15th, man, I go back home, stay with my parents for a little bit and chill out there, and then I'll be back at Palmdale by the end of the year. So yeah, I'll be discharged Monday. So excited.
Wow. It's
Congrats,
incredible,
bro.
man.
Congrats,
Congratulations,
hey,
Rudy.
You're a champion. You're a champion in my eyes, bro. You got the bobblehead that counts, bro. The bobblehead of life, brother.
Making comebacks in life and AGS.
Make it count. Hey, amen to that. I appreciate it, Quan. Appreciate it.
Well done. May you secure your first title this year, Rudy. Another testament to finishing near the bottom and bouncing back the next season. Good shit. All right. This is the final seed coming up, right?
Yes, sir. Number 6 seed. First time making the playoffs since he's joined AGS. Oops, upside your head with a record of 8-6. Congratulations, Oops. You are in the postseason.
Well done. Well done. You'll need more than 82 points to make any noise, but you know.
Quan, any comments?
Yeah, how does it feel to take 2 losses in 1 week, Quan?
Whatever.
Just kidding.
Oops' squad is San Francisco is on a bye. His squad is not much without McCaffrey. So it'll be interesting coming to the playoffs. He has Omarion Hampton back. Marvin Harrison will be back. You see how many points Wilson put up this week with Jacoby Brissett. And then McCaffrey will be there. So that's going to be a tough team, tough playoff team.
I think so too. Yeah, absolutely. Well done. Congratulations on your first run, and who knows, maybe your first title here. Oops. Good shit, Commissioner. You were up against the clock with it. Oh, yeah.
Just want to say that while Quan and I are enjoying our bye week, our playoff week 1 schedule will have the number 3 seed New Jack City facing off against Oops upside your head. Number 4 Curse will face Rudy's replacements.
Ooh, looking forward to it.
Ooh.
Quan is awaiting the lowest seeded team that advances, and the Frogs will play the highest seeded team that advances.
2 wins, baby. Just 2 wins. Oh, amazing. Guys, congratulations on the hard-fought season. From the beginning to the end, these 6 teams were the ones who put it together, made the moves, all the right calls, stood through the adversity, and are here standing as the final 6 teams in any given Sunday. Well done, gentlemen. If we can, before we go in the last couple of minutes, I did want to talk about this Diddy documentary. If you haven't seen it and you don't want it spoiled, maybe you should sign off, because there's just I feel like if this documentary came out 20 years ago, it'd be making a lot more noise, because this guy was basically responsible for the deaths of 2 of the most famous rappers of all time. And they're just talking about it casually now. Like, yeah, he did it. No big deal. Everybody knows he did it. That was one of the more mind-blowing parts. I didn't realize how famous he was with Uptown before Bad Boy. So that was a little eye-opening too. But this guy is a real fucking... I had no idea who's playing the artist like that. I had no idea. And I don't even know what he did to piss off 50 Cent. But let's just say that man does not take a grudge lightly. Shit.
That was brutal, man. That was hard to watch. The only reason why, I really watched it was because I knew we were going to be talking about it. But if we weren't going to be talking about it, I would have turned it off, man. I mean, those monster stories, all the whispers we thought were true. But it's just hard. It's just hard hearing that shit and, the stuff done to women. And, like you said, man, Cassie is a beautiful woman, that any man on earth, including Kid Cudi, would have treated like a queen. And to hear how she was treated is just fucking terrible. Whether she wanted it or not, or was just saying yes to get the money and lifestyle, it's horrible, dude. So rough.
Yeah, I mean, 19 years old is young, man. That is extremely young-minded. Meeting a person on Diddy's level, and he just groomed her to be the greatest sex toy he could ever have. If you think, when I was watching, I was thinking about it, like, she never really dropped a promoted album with him. I didn't realize that the one song hit that she came to Diddy. She already had that song with her. that she made with her then boyfriend. I forget his name.
Ryan
and-
Leslie.
Yeah, Ryan Leslie, who I believe is an underrated producer. Did he probably? That's probably an untold part of the story. Did he probably kill his career? But yeah,
I mean,
she already came with.
they didn't talk about Kid Cudi's Porsche getting blown up, so they left a lot of stuff out.
Mhm. But at the same time, you know, being a film major and seeing how narratives can be spun with a documentary, is there anything that you guys may think that the story might have been sensationalized a little bit?
I think it's very clear that one Senkei's uncle, who was that one juror, was definitely paid off.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who Puff Daddy was. No familiarity with his music. Never heard anything of him.
I think the other juror, the female, should not have come on that documentary. I think
She should not have been chosen as a juror. She was clearly a fucking fan, bro.
Well,
Oh my
the
God.
the only segment, I'm sure her interview was hours long. She got pretty much maybe 5 minutes, and they played the part where she talked about her knowing Diddy and knowing who he was, which made it appear like she was a total fan. And I'm pretty sure that she said a lot more than that. And I kind of do feel sorry that because I'm pretty sure that she's probably receiving death threats and all kinds of bad press or what have you. But I do feel like she's somewhat of a victim in this documentary, because that's all they played. So I'm not convinced that she's just was like a Diddy fan, and it was a unanimous verdict for the jury, and it just goes to show you how our justice system is, man. Our justice system, they say you rely on the jury of your peers, but you rely. I mean, in reality, man, it should be very critical thinking, thoughtful, broad-minded people that are making these type of decisions. But it's really just, grabbing anybody that can, a battle of picking the perfect jury to win the case. And, the defense did that.
Yeah, well, 50 Cent's making sure that nobody forgets the dirty stink that Puffy has left. I can't imagine he's gonna find any work. I was trying to think, like, does he double down on the villain thing, kind of like what Kanye tried to do but failed completely at? Does Puffy lean into that? Does he disappear and go to Thailand and freak off? I mean, Thailand, they'll be like, bring your dollars and your oil. I can't, because he's not having the career he had for sure. 50's making sure that doesn't happen again with this. What do you guys think, man?
Well, when a woman's involved, that's what this is all about with 50, because that's Puffy fucking his baby mama and all that other shit. But um, I think that whole documentary was sensationalized. That's basically what it is. All the documentaries about Diddy ever since this happened, how fast they came out. I think he's had more documentaries made about him than there is about Hitler on Netflix. That's real. So it's as far as what it's supposed to do, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And like I said on the feed, there's going to be a part 2. So 50 goes all in, and what it always comes down to in some one way or other, or some aspect, all because of a woman. That's all. That's the only reason why he's doing all this. Not because he took him shopping or he sent him flowers, because funeral flowers and all that other shit. Yeah, I mean that's some street shit and everything like that, but it's woman shit.
I heard part of it too. He was trying to sign Mace to G Unit, but he was still signed to Bad Boy.
Yeah.
And I guess Diddy was like just being a punk about it. And then
What's
Or
the
that's-
info? I haven't seen it, so that's why I've been relatively quiet on this segment.
My
Not
bad.
concerned.
Sorry.
No.
Don't worry, it'll still be entertaining for you. Nothing's being ruined. You kind of
I'm
already
not
know the
worried
story.
about spoilers. I'm just wondering, Rudy, where did the info about part 2 come from, and what part of the story do you think that's going to focus?
It was just an article or just a clip, on Instagram and TikTok, just stuff like that. That's just what the rumor was at the time. I think it was like a few days after it came on Netflix.
I'm pretty sad the beef effectively killed Death Row East, because that sounded like it would have been a nice lineup too. There's a lot of crazy butterfly effect that spun out of this. I don't know if I mentioned the Tupac book that was written by Jeff Pearlman, but I listened to the audiobook version of it. And there's a lot of similarities between Diddy and Tupac, and how their mom was a central figure in their lives, but coming from two completely different backgrounds. And it's also crazy how Tupac almost in a similar way, like, steered the trajectory of his life towards his own death because of the persona he wanted to like commit to after he'd been robbed. And it's pretty wild how these lives intersected the way they did. And I'm just astounded that this guy was not even a good friend. And how he's drug his son into this shit too. That's fucking disgusting.
It was
Well,
I don't want to kill it for Coop, but when they gave
go for it.
When they gave that little account, him and that light-skinned stocky guy, it went over my head at first, and then I was like, wait, what? Ew.
Yeah.
but the what it comes down to, Diddy is high profile and everything like that, but I still don't get a surprise or anything out of it, because I can say that I know Quincy Jones has done probably worse shit than anything. He just wasn't getting caught for it. Uh, in the digital age, he has that aspect of his life where it is recorded or anything like that. But I'm sure all them, those music moguls, Babyface, even Bivens from New Edition, anybody that's with artists or anything like that, got those big red moments where you're hanging out of a window. In my office hours are from 9 to 5 type shit. So yeah, that's just my opinion on it. But the whole thing about, he's behind this and he's behind that, I don't being in that type of position in the music business, I don't think you have a soul. I don't think people matter to you. It's all numbers and what those numbers can equate to, and that's all. Biggie and Pac, and how Puffy looked at them and was just like, move this person out of the way or anything like that. Something that probably Tommy Mottola did, or anybody else did. So again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, man. These billionaires, they live the pluribus lifestyle. They have everybody trying to make them happy all the time and get a bit of that shine, and they can do whatever they want and get away with a lot. Puffy just happened to be one of the ones that got caught. And I'm sure there's a bunch of Puffy types on the Epstein lists, from all corners of the world and all walks of life. And they have one thing in common: they have power and money. And maybe that's just where we leave it. We leave it with the have-nots in the consolation bracket, the super have-nots in Cancun already, like Sugandese, and all the haves in the playoffs. It's the end of the fantasy football regular season. Thank you to all of our viewers for spending the regular season with us. Join us for the playoff run. I want to thank all the guys on the pod squad tonight. The special guests, Sugandese, Rudy, the defending champ, the ambassador to Quan, Secret Frog, and I'm Rebel Scum. And we'll catch you for the playoff update next week.
Peace. Good season, boys.